I need to do. Safety glasses. We'll put them on. And then we do have clamps in the room. This is hard to see. Sorry, not used to glasses with masks. I feel your pain, everyone who wears glasses right now. Okay, when using just regular paper, you can use the smaller X-Acto blades. These blades give you more dexterity and turning. So when you're doing this, make sure that your angle is over, that you're on the green board, and you can turn it, okay? Make sure that you do not pull it back and cut yourself. The other thing is if you're wanting to use a guideline, we do have these bendy tools that you can set on here, and then you can use that by going around and making that curve if you need something for more support. Same thing goes with any other kind of rulers or so forth. Just be careful that you are not cutting your plastic with your X-Acto blade. Having something to lean against, you want to lean towards the actual object, not dig up underneath the object. If you have a straight edge metal and it has cork on the bottom, a lot of them have corks. You want the cork to face up, that way it doesn't wiggle and you don't have extra space open between your cutting and the paper. Now, when you go into the bigger boards and the heavier papers, the illustration boards, you want to clamp these down and you want to use a bigger knife. Make sure when you're done using your X-Acto blade, you store it into a nice safe compartment. A box cutter is a bigger, stronger blade, and this is going to be used for the illustration board. Once again, when you're cutting on the paper, this board is bigger than the paper with the cutting mat, so make sure that you have securely figured out where you're cutting and that it's going to be where it's at. Clamp down your board. That way you don't have any accidental movements with your board. And of course, the rule of measure twice, cut once is very important. So we are at let's see, we're gonna go this way. So 30, what's half of 30?
15.
Good job! Yay! Okay. Measure on that one side. Also measure on this side. Half of 30 is 15. Now this is in the classroom. I'm going to take you to the nice slicer that's around the corner and show you how to use that. For the big paper, that one works a lot better. Okay? So then I line up my two guidelines, making sure that they are together. Oops. Remember, check twice, cut once. Now, I spread my hand across so that I have more support down, and I make my path. Now, if it doesn't cut right away, go back, keep the ruler in the same place, and cut again. And if it's not cutting, my blade might be dull. Oh no, it cut. Sorry. My glasses are fogging up. All right, because that ruler is not quite long enough, what do I need to do? Turn it. And this is why making the extra step to start over at the other one is much easier. Again, click it down. That way, you're only trying not to wiggle the ruler. Line up your guidelines. And cut. And once you make your first score, it should go into the right spot as long as you're in there. Okay. One first successful. Maybe not. Remember, if your blade is not sharp, it doesn't make it easy, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, now let's take a field trip. Are we ready? All right, so this is the Mac cutter. And in order to use this, you have to have the special tool. Make sure you keep it in a safe spot. And then you have these individual blades. These are sold in the store. This is a little pricey, so if you want to borrow mine, that's great. If I happen not to be here and you are just working someday in the office, you can check it out, give them your school ID, they'll let you borrow one. So it's got these hooks. You put it, I like to put it on the first hook right there. Now this Mac cutter is really awesome. This side does straight cuts. This side does beveled cuts if you're cutting mat board to frame a piece. We don't need to talk about that so much. So here we're gonna do is we slide it, you see that? We slide it into the contraption, and then we tighten it down with this little screw over here. That little guy right there. And it's not much, just a little, you don't have to like kill it for the, just tighten it down. Then look at this magic. It opens up. Now you see how this board is underneath? Keep this, you want some scrap paper underneath. That way you don't end up cutting the actual equipment. So if you look at this, you can see where some people have accidentally cut onto the equipment. So put a protective barrier down so that that doesn't happen. Now, you're going to get your board and you place it into it. So I'm going to take it. So basically what you're going to do with the big one is cut at the 15 and then cut at the 20. This goes down. It's now all secure. You take this piece and then you push down slightly and pull it towards you. And if it didn't go the first time, give it another swipe. There we go. Yay! So there's one, there's two. Then you're going to do the same thing to the other one. Line it up to the 20. Lay it down. Slide it up. Pull it back. And if you feel like you're having to push too hard, just do multiple cuts, okay? There's no reason to make sure you get the cut on the first swipe. And voila.